What if you lived a certain way for your entire life and there was just some point that you just said, I can't keep this act up. I can't keep this facade up because it's not really me. It's Dawn here from Oriel Dawning. From a child, I had to be a protector for my family. My father was quite abusive and very violent, and I just happened to be the one who had to stand. And he saw it as some sort of conquest or some sort of opponent that he could fight or challenge. And it was quite sad, really, because I was female and I was only a child. But I had to be a protector because, you know, he needed to feel he was superior and dominate the household, which is quite tragic. And they got to a stage in my life where I was tired. I didn't want to fight. There was much more that I had to offer myself, and I actually didn't know myself beyond, you know, having to protect and, you know, be vigilant for violence and abuse. The world is not like that, you know, but I had to put up this facade, you know, to show the world that I was tough, I was strong, and I could withstand anything. It came at a tremendous toll upon me emotionally and physically. So I was chatting with a friend quite recently, and he said to me, well, what is it to be vulnerable? And I thought about your position that you hold in life that's not really genuine, that's not really secure to who you are. And you've built these walls, you've built these emotional shields. You know, you've had to, you know, hold the world and barricade yourself in for a self-preservation or a safety mechanism. And what I've understood is that we don't need to be defensive anymore. We can put these shields down and we can actually start breathing with who we are. And this is where the misconception, I think, is, because when we set these shields aside, we're not weak. We can show our vulnerability to say, well, I don't know all the answers. Actually, I really don't want to fight. However, when I discarded the shields or these defenses, there is something there. And there is something that has a strength, that has a substance to you, and that's your dignity. That's your self-respect and worth. That's your principles, and that's your virtue that you live by. And these in itself carry a force. They carry an influence. And just because someone, you know, decides to shout at you, that doesn't mean that you need to take it. You can tell them, I don't like this kind of language towards me. I don't like this volume. I cannot interact with you in this abuse, how harsh this is. It's actually upsetting me. It's distressing me. So when we understand vulnerability is not weakness, it's finding the strength of us. It's finding our articulation. It's finding our poise. Yes? And the more we understand who we are, the more bolder we are in the world, the more value we have. And we can start influencing the world from an advanced perspective and not from a barbarian lineage, a Neanderthal, or animalistic traits. We're human beings where we've given a gift of speech, and we must learn to utilize this in an expressive way, in a way that that reflects an honor to ourselves and everyone else. This is what the progression and development of humankind is all about. We don't have to scavenge and crawl, over insignificant things. We don't have to dominate. We don't have to shout. We don't have to resort to violence. And putting down our shields, our defense mechanisms, that we're a truer version in the world. And we're influencing at a genuine level. And we're holding ourselves in the esteem of ourselves. And our principles carry this worth. Our principles open to knowledge and wisdom and insights of who we are. So, discarding vulnerability or discarding our shields, yes, it holds us in a space of vulnerability. But rest assured, we find more of us, more of a principle of who we are.